There's just so much happening right now.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Hello friends, welcome back, namaste, welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you're doing well, genuinely do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, and it is a Chelsea News, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Of course it's all popping off with Chelsea at the moment, with the new gaffer, Enzo Maresca, yet to be confirmed by Chelsea Football Club, but long since has been confirmed by Fabrizio Romano with the here we go. He's coming to Chelsea, he's bringing his backroom staff, he's on a 5+1 year contract with the Blues, which of course is a big show of faith from the sporting directors. But how much is it going to cost us? I'm going to get into that today, as well as transfers, because again, Romano, the aforementioned Romano, has said it's going to be very busy at Chelsea this summer in terms of transfers, which is interesting. I think there will largely be outgoings and, sorting out finally our squad and roster to the place where we want it in terms of playing squad and maybe portfolio as well in terms of, selling. I know that's a bit cynical, but that's where we are, right? So there's lots of work to be done there. We're going to reflect on it today. Yeah, strap yourselves in, boys and girls. Thank you for joining me, as always. Thank you for the nice comments I see in the comment section, and thank you to everyone who subscribed. You're welcome to subscribe if you're yet to do so. If you choose to do so, hit that sweet, sweet bell, baby. Ooh, the pipes. First of all, Maresca, 5+1 year deal. That's a long time. But it turns out his salary, rather unsurprisingly because of how, inexperienced he is, is 5 million a year. Now, Pochettino was over 10 million a year. So straight away, in terms of financial outlay, it's like Pochettino for 2.5 years. That's like, do you know what I mean? So people need to think of it that way at first in terms of money spent. It's half the price. Of course, he should be, because Pochettino has managed to, in the Premier League, Tottenham, big operation, PSG, and he's earned his stripes, hasn't he, Poch? I know he hasn't won much, but in terms of his just delivering Champions League football, etc., etc., Maresca's new. He's a new kid on the block. Now, I understand that his contract has incentives, so it's a base 5 million, but look, if you get in the Champions League, you get a bonus. If you win cups or if you win the Premier League, boy howdy, you get a bonus. Now, I'm speculating in terms of how those bonuses work, but I know there's incentive-based elements in his contract. So off the bat, long contract, so they're showing that they want to stay with him, be our guy, be the guy to develop us into a project, and Chelsea will have to pay around £8 million. It was speculated it was 10, but £8 million to Leicester City as compensation for Maresca. Although I know as well, or I've read, that we've also got to pay to release his staff, and he's bringing quite a few people with him. Of course, the most high profile that we know about is his number 2, Willy Caballero, Chelsea cult hero, so that's kind of fun, right? But yeah, we'll have to pay to get all of them out of there. So there's the financial side of things. Not actually that bad. There's lots of stuff going around social media at the moment regarding Enzo, his management style, how players will fit in. If you guys are yet to watch my previous upload, which is winners and losers, I do it every time we hire a new manager, so I've done quite a few now. Go check that out, because I speak about the current playing squad, who will fit into his style, or of course I speculate. I can't say definitively, can I? But I speculate who will fit in, who won't, who's a winner, who's a loser. And it's not just I like this player, or I don't like this player, or he fits in and doesn't fit in. I think there's a lot of stuff to consider. So go watch that video, either now, pause this one and watch it, or after this, cue it up, baby, get it ready, because it's a great piece of content if I say so myself. Right, come on then. Alright, mate. So quickly, I just want to look at some stats going around. Obviously, this is comparing Pochettino's Chelsea in the Premier League and Enzo Maresca's Leicester City in the Championship. But he has 62% possession, Enzo, to Pochettino's 59%, which, 3%, but significant. 11.2 chances created, and this is all per 90, by the way. 11.2 chances created to Chelsea's 11.1, which is interesting, because Chelsea created a lot of chances under Pochettino, and it's pretty much bang on, but slightly more was Enzo Maresca's Leicester City. Now, of course, you'd say it's the Championship, Leicester a powerhouse there. Yeah, sure, but they also lost a lot of players, and it was his first season in charge. Goals scored, Pochettino slightly more, 2.03, 1.93 for Leicester City. I think they scored, I don't know if it was the most in the league or nearly most in the league. Of course, there's more games in the Championship, so that per 90 might be a little bit less with more goals in the season. Now, the big one here is goals conceded. Chelsea conceded 1.66 per 90 under Pochettino. And at Leicester, they conceded 0.89. So under 0.9 goals per game on average. That is elite. Of course, they had the best defence in the Championship, Leicester. And it wasn't, like I said before, it wasn't like sit deep, stink it up and don't let anything in. It's sort of Guardiola ball, keep the ball and don't let them have chances. Now, I've gone in, I've done this to death. I've gone into detail about how I feel about that. Actually, it can be perceived as boring sometimes, but also, and this dogmatic philosophical way, like my way or the highway, and fans can get very upset about that. Of course, we saw that with Maurizio Sarri at Chelsea. A lot of fans got upset and bored with the football, but I kind of would take that right now over this like crazy hero ball pressing transition stuff from Pochettino, when none of us felt safe in games. So he's kind of the antithesis of that. Maresca, he's the opposite, right? So instead of like playing transitional football, taking risks, it's no, we're going to keep the ball, we're going to frustrate the opposition and mentally break them so they don't feel like they've still got an opportunity to come back into the game, which is all we did under Pochettino. We'd play really well, look amazing, but then the opposition would always feel like they've got a chance, which is very un-Chelsea. Chelsea need to strangle you to death, or like, just not let them have a chance. Like Jose Mourinho, 2-0. And kill the game and just let them break them mentally. I'm down for that massively. Yes, it's the Championship, but I heard something really interesting. I think it was on a Talk Sport clip. Some of you might have seen it. It's a Leicester fan talking about Enzo Maresca. Two Leicester fans, actually. One was waxing lyrical, and he said Chelsea's lucky to have him. And the next guy didn't say that, like Chelsea are lucky to have him, but he said he thinks in the Premier League he will do better at Chelsea than he would at Leicester. And you might think, what? There's loads of pressure at Chelsea, and surely, like Kieran McKenna, he could just go up and do his thing. Kieran McKenna plays way more direct and transitional, and probably will survive in the Prem better, a la like Brentford or Sheffield United when they first came up under Wilder. But, look at like Daniel Farke with Norwich, or of course more recently, Vincent Kompany with Burnley, coming up and trying to play the same way in possession and just getting slam dunked straight back down into the Championship. Now, people are speculating a similar thing would happen to Maresca with Leicester, and he's very philosophical, like I say, my way or the highway coach. But that might not translate well to Leicester in the Prem, this current Leicester, but it probably will translate well to Chelsea in the Prem, because he's got the players to do it at this level, which you wouldn't have had with the Leicester squad. He did in the Championship because they're good enough there, but you've scaled up to a whole new level. So translated with Chelsea, he should in theory do well. Or we're all hoping at least. Yes, so should we talk about the transfers then? Because that's what everyone's talking about at the moment. Alright then, baby girl. Yes, so there's 3 positions being spoken about. Now, firstly, it's been reiterated by different journalists, different newspapers, whatever, websites, that he won't have control over transfers. He will be consulted, but he won't have control. Now, this has always been the plan, pre-Pochettino. In fact, Potter as well. Potter knew it. That's why Tuchel was sacked, because he didn't want to play that game. Potter knew it, agreed to it. Obviously, just didn't hang around, because it was it just didn't work. Pochettino signed up to it, and he knew about it. He was like, yes, I will work in these conditions, but changed the plan, moved the goalposts, and that was one of the reasons why we parted with Poch. And now Enzo Maresca's agreeing to it, like, yes, okay. You'd think, though, with Maresca, because he's an inexperienced coach, that he won't have this ego to be like, actually, I've changed my mind, sign the players that I want, in the way it's speculated that Pochettino did. He'll be a little bit more like, yeah, I know what I signed up for. In a way, you want him to feel like he's lucky to be at Chelsea, like, wow, what a massive club. But at the same time, you want him to be like, yeah, of course, I'm here. I'm good enough to be at Chelsea. I'm not lucky. Let's do it. That's kind of what you want. You want that confidence. But at the same time, he needs to understand rightly or wrongly, in your opinion, he needs to understand his place in the structure, in the plan, in the setup, and that is he won't get control over transfers. He should be excited because he's got an abundance of talent currently at Chelsea, and he should also, hopefully we'll learn to do this as well, trust the sporting directors to build him what is just an incredibly good and balanced squad that he can then coach as a head coach. And remember, he is just a head coach. He's not a overarching manager of all these decisions. So he'll have to understand that and essentially swallow that. All right, so let's talk about the transfer targets. First of all, it's goalkeeper, and this will come as a surprise to absolutely no one. We spoke about this yesterday. Some of you in my comments spoke about Kepa, how he's a footballing goalkeeper. I just don't think Kepa's the one. Also, if we can absolve ourselves of his wages, we'll try. I just don't think Kepa. I mean, I could be wrong. Pochettino looked at him and fancied him a little bit, but I really don't see Kepa happening. He's third choice at Real Madrid. He's not going to be the first choice at Chelsea to bring us back to the top again. He had good times at Chelsea. The first season under Sarri, he was decent. He even had a bit of a renaissance the season before last, but I don't know, man. Not for me. So we need a goalkeeper. A good footballing goalkeeper that can put the ball wherever he wants. Of course, they've referenced how Edison at Man City is the kind of profile they'll be looking for. Certainly Rob Sanchez isn't that guy. Bettinelli will remain number 3. And I just don't think... Maybe they will look at Georgi Petrovic, but I don't think he's the guy. So yes, they probably will sign a goalkeeper. Diogo Costa's been spoken about for a long time for Chelsea. And indeed, people like Man City have looked at him. I wonder as a number 2. Every time I watch Diogo Costa, he's not good. So granted, it's in like European games and stuff. But I do worry. But at the same time... There are loads of good goalkeepers out there. It's not, it's not like strikers. There's maybe not like amazing world-class goalkeepers out there, but there's certainly better options than what we've got to play in the Enzo Maresca style of football. So yes, expect to see a new goalkeeper signing in the summer, and probably us selling maybe Rob Sanchez because he costs 25 million. He's probably on higher wages than Petrovic, and Georgi Petrovic will probably just get relegated to second choice again. And because we were going to be in 2 cups and Europe, maybe Georgi Petrovic will accept that and be, this is an exciting project. I'll still get game time at Chelsea as the number 2. Everybody win, huh? My Italian accent. Bene, Enzo Maresca. Right, so who's next? Left back. Now, left back's the one they're talking about across all the newspapers, and this is interesting because the right back inverts traditionally from last season in Enzo's system, and we've spoken about this at length. Reece James could be perfect for that. He's played CDM, he's played right back, he's an amazing footballer. Go watch it again. I'll remind you, go watch that video, the winners and losers video, if you're yet to watch it. And Gusto as well. We spoke about Gusto. Actually, he doesn't suit the profile of the right back with Enzo, but he's just too good to get rid of. So we'll see what happens with Malo Gusto. But left back, we've got more than left. We've got Ian Maatsen on the books as well, but Maatsen will be sold for pure profit, probably for north of £30 million. Even if we don't get the 35 million buyout clause for Ian Maatsen, we'll make a decent money on him. So we've got a couple left. We've got Chelsea's vice-captain in Ben Chilwell. I wonder if he'll keep that. I wonder if Enzo will do anything with the captaincy, actually. I doubt he'll strip Reece James, but I wonder if he'll... Don't know. Maybe change vice-captain, maybe not. Who knows? Maybe he'll just keep everything as it is and not try to upset anyone early doors. But yeah, I've speculated maybe Chile, we're not inverting the left back, maybe Chile can do it if he wants the left back to get forward and join. But actually, the left back often tucks in. Cucurella, even if they don't invert into the midfield, they sort of tuck in and make that back free, sometimes get forwards, and then there's just a box at the back, a 4 box at the back. I don't know. Cucurella has just been called up to the Spanish squad. He's 25. He works hard. He's good vibes. He's great with the media, like the Chelsea media stuff. Everyone likes him. Do you sell Chilwell? I mean, you can't keep both Cucurella and Chilwell and buy a left back. Can you? Unless, Cucurella gets reinvented entirely as a midfielder. I don't know, but Chelsea are looking at left backs. It's goalkeeper and left back, and of course striker, which we'll talk about in just a second. What do you think, guys, about the left back situation? I mean, Again, I hate to do this because I've got no reason to trust them as of yet. Well, I've got some reason to trust them, but I kind of defer to the sporting directors and their plan. Look, this is your plan. You've signed a lot of good players. You've done some good loans. Fair enough, not all perfect. And this is your guy. So build the squad for your guy. You got to let him do it. We'll judge him afterwards, right? What do you think about a new left back? And who? And who do we sell? And finally, of course, it is a striker. Big news with long-standing Chelsea target Victor Osimhen, the Nigerian striker who plays for Napoli. Almost certainly going to go in the summer. Chelsea were favourites to sign him, but PSG, of course, alleviating themselves of the £200 million a year it costs to have Mbappe, are looking to, buy a load of new players, and Osimhen could be the guy. They'll, of course, pay him higher wages than us. He is tempted by the Premier League, but he is now going to be out for 4 weeks. A month with an injury. Of course, if you're going to have an injury, probably right now is the time to have it because you can still make pre-season, but it's not ideal, is it? It really isn't ideal, so you won't be playing international football, I guess. Osimhen, he'll cost a lot of money. Of course, we speculated for a while that a deal could be done where we give Napoli Lukaku. I just realised something. Antonio Conte is going to Napoli. They are definitely going to buy Lukaku. I think it's not like 100% confirmed, but it looks like it's going to happen, which, by the way, is a mental move because it's just a move that's destined for failure. But, yeah, we are so going to flog Lukaku to Napoli and reunite him with Antonio Conte. That's so going to happen. Wow. Okay, that's good. Well, I don't know if it's actually going to happen, but it makes a lot of sense, right? Let's hope that happens. So maybe, yeah, look, have Lukaku and a young player that you like, and we will take Osimhen for 80 million. And that'll be good for us because we alleviate ourselves of Lukaku's wages on the books, which is massive. Who do you want for striker? Who else is there other than Osimhen that would work in the system? Jackson has a place because he can play as a striker as well as a wide forward, as a proper winger as well, and Maresca likes wingers. But I'm going to leave it with you guys. Let me know what you think. Striker, goalkeeper, and left back. Who do you think, and who do you think could go? And keep it locked to this channel, Football Therapy, because I hope to see you back here very soon. Peace.